Hello everybody, welcome to my class. In today's class, we are going to learn the most fascinating topic in physics, which is light. So let's start with the definition of light. What is light? Light is a form of electromagnetic radiation and a non-mechanical wave. About electromagnetic radiation, you will learn in higher grade. But what is a non-mechanical wave? A non-mechanical wave is a wave which does not require any medium for its propagation. We know that we get light from the sun, and in between earth and sun there is no medium. Still we receive the light. This proves that light is an non-mechanical wave which can travel without any medium. Medium is material medium like air, glass, water, all these are material media. So light can travel without these material media. Now can you give me an example of wave which cannot travel without material medium or which requires a material medium for its propagation? Yes, it is sound. Sound is a mechanical wave which requires a medium for its propagation. You have learnt about sound in previous grade, right? So you know that sound is a mechanical wave which requires a medium for its propagation. But light doesn't require any medium to travel through. So light is a form of electromagnetic radiation and a non-mechanical wave. Before heading into the main topic, let's discuss the reflection of light from the plane surface. You have already learned a reflection of light. So what is reflection of light? The bouncing back of light after hitting a surface is called as reflection. When light incident on any surface, it gets reflected. You have studied the reflection of light from plane mirror. In this chapter, we have to study the reflection from spherical mirrors. You also know the laws of reflection. What are the laws? First law states that the incident ray, reflected ray and the normal, all these three lie in the same plane, and angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection. The spherical mirror also follows the laws of reflection. So let's start with the spherical mirrors. Mirror used by dentists or rear view mirrors in vehicles, and the mirror which are used for the monitoring purpose in the shop. They are not plane mirrors. They are the mirrors with spherical surface. Every spherical mirror is a part of some glass sphere. If you take a glass sphere and if we cut a small part of this glass sphere, we get a spherical surface. Okay, so spherical mirrors are part of glass sphere. There are two types of spherical mirrors, concave mirror and convex mirror. Okay, now can you tell me which type of mirror is this? Is this a concave mirror or convex mirror? See, this is neither a concave mirror nor a convex mirror, unless you know which part of the mirror is silvered. In order to convert a spherical surface into mirror, one of the surfaces should be silvered, and then only it reflects the light. Mirror is an opaque object, okay, and if you take any glass object, glass is a transparent object. In order to convert the glass into mirror, first it should be coated with silver, because silver is the best reflector of light. See, every spherical surface has two parts. Okay, this inner part is called as concave part and the outer part is called as convex part. So if the outer bulging part is silvered and this inner concave part is made polished and smooth, then such mirror is called as concave mirror. The mirror in which this concave surface acts as a reflecting surface and this convex part is silvered. This outer part is silvered is called as concave mirror. Now if we cut the same sphere from this side, again this spherical surface is a part of this sphere. So when the spherical surface is silvered from inner side, means when the concave part is silvered and this convex part is made polished and smooth, and this outer part acts as a reflecting surface. Such type of mirror is called as convex mirror. In concave mirror, the inner part is reflecting part. On the other hand, in convex mirror, this outer part is a reflecting part. This outer surface is a reflecting surface. See, I have spherical mirror. Now, can you tell me which type of mirror is this? Concave or convex? Now, you can see it has two surfaces. Okay, this is concave surface and this is convex surface. So convex surface is silvered and then again it is coated with some paint in order to protect the silver coating. This inner surface acts as a reflecting surface, means on this surface light incident. So this is a concave mirror in which the inner surface acts as a reflecting surface. And this is a convex mirror in which the inner part is silver. Inner surface is silvered and again it is coated in order to protect the silver layer. And this convex part acts as a reflecting surface. So this is our convex mirror. Let's discuss some of the terms related to spherical mirrors. First is a pole. What is a pole of spherical mirror? So a pole of spherical mirror is a geometric center of this spherical mirror, or we can say a midpoint of this spherical mirror is called as pole and it is denoted by P. So P is a geometric center of a spherical mirror. Next is center of curvature. What is center of curvature of a spherical mirror? See, as we have seen, every spherical mirror is a part of some glass sphere. In this case, we have assumed that these two spherical mirrors are part of this glass sphere. Now, center of curvature of spherical mirror is a center of a glass sphere of which this mirror is a part. Center of curvature of spherical mirror is a center of a glass sphere of which this mirror is a part. Therefore, this would be the center of spherical mirror. Center of curvature is denoted by capital C, and in case of convex mirror it will be on the right side. Remember that the center of curvature of concave mirror is on the left side of this pole, and for convex mirror it is on the right side of this pole. We are going to use this when we will discuss the sign convention of spherical mirrors. Next is radius of curvature, denoted by capital R. This radius of curvature is similar to the center of curvature, means The radius of curvature is a radius of glass sphere. Radius of glass sphere of which this mirror is a part. So it is the distance between center and pole of a mirror. It is the radius of a sphere of which this mirror is a part, which is called as radius of curvature. In case of convex mirror, it will be on the right side. Okay, denoted by capital R. Then we have principal axis. Principal axis of a spherical mirror is an imaginary line passing through the center of curvature and pole. It is an imaginary line passing through the center of curvature and pole of a mirror. It is called as principal axis. Then we have principal focus, denoted by capital F. So before we discuss principal focus, let's revise the reflection of light in plane mirror. Reflecting surface is plane. So let AO be the incident ray of light. Then we draw a normal. Normal is a perpendicular at this point of incidence. AO is incident ray of light and OB is reflected ray of light. NO is normal. You know that angle between the incident ray and normal is called as angle of incidence, and angle between the reflected ray and normal is called as angle of reflection. In plane mirror, angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection. This is one of the laws of reflection. Now let's see in case of spherical mirror how reflection takes place. Consider a ray which is parallel to this principal axis. The rays which are parallel to the principal axis, they are called as paraxial rays. So this is incident ray of light which incident on this concave mirror. Now we have to draw a normal, like how we draw in plane mirror. So normal is a perpendicular drawn at the point of incidence. This is our point of incidence. Let's take it as a O. See, in spherical mirror, a normal always passes through the center of curvature and it makes an angle of 90 degree on this spherical surface, because normal is a perpendicular which makes a 90 degree angle with the reflecting surface. If you take a small part of this spherical mirror, it will be a straight line. So therefore it can make an angle of 90 degree. In spherical mirror, a normal always passes through the center of curvature. Any line which passes through a center of curvature will be a normal which is drawn at any point. If you draw a number of lines which passes through center of curvature, it will be a perpendicular on this surface. So let's draw a normal, means a line which will pass through a center of curvature. So this is our normal. Okay. Now we know that the angle between the incident ray and normal is called as angle of incidence. The angle between incident ray and normal is called as angle of incidence. So this is our angle of incidence. Now when the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, then after reflection, this ray passes through a point which lies on this principal axis and it is called as principal focus. Let's draw a reflected ray. A reflected ray always passes through a focus when the incident ray is parallel to the principal axis, and this is our reflected ray. Let's say AO is incident ray and OB is reflected ray. So the angle between normal and reflected ray is called angle of reflection. Any ray which is parallel to the principal axis, after reflection it passes through a point. This point lies on this principal axis and called as principal focus. You have to focus little more on this principal focus. Let's take another ray which is again parallel to the principal axis. Then after reflection it will pass through the focus. So this is a reflected ray for this incident ray. If you take any number of rays which are parallel to the principal axis, then after reflection every ray which it will pass through a point. All these rays converge at a point, and this point is called as principal focus as it lies on the principal axis. So I'll repeat this principal focus. When the rays which are parallel to the principal axis, then after reflection all these rays passes through a point. This point lies on the principal axis and therefore it is called as principal focus or simply focus. Let's come to this convex mirror. Consider a parallel ray of light. Okay, then it gets reflected in this manner. Okay. So now in case of a convex mirror, these reflected rays, they appear to diverge from this point, and this point is called as principal focus. In case of concave mirror, these rays after reflection they converge. All these rays converge at a point. This point is called as principal focus. In case of convex mirror, these rays appears to diverge. Because these rays do not meet, we have to extrapolate them. Means we have to extend them in order to meet them. Okay, so if we extend them, they meet behind the mirror, or you can say it appears to diverge from this point. This point lies on this principal axis and is called as principal focus. Next is focal length. This focus is also called as focal point. Focal length. Focal length is the distance between this principal focus and pole of a mirror. Focal length denoted by small f. It is the distance between this focus and pole of a mirror. This is focal length of concave mirror, and for convex mirror this would be a focal length. Distance between pole and focus of a convex mirror. In next part of this lesson, we'll study the rules for drawing ray diagram and the ray diagram showing the position of object and position of image. If you like this topic, please do share with your friends and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you.